Christian way of facing crisis. Dear friends, we all meet crises and challenges in our daily life. As Christians, how do we respond to them? The parable which Jesus shares with us in today's Gospel, Luke chapter 16, verses 1 to 13, gives us a message. A rich man had a manager who looked after his wealth and accounts. Since the manager was not doing his job properly and ruining his possessions, the rich man decided to relieve him of his job. He asked the manager to settle the accounts. The manager was deeply shaken by this decision, and his life was in crisis. He knew his limitations and insecurity into which he will be thrown when he loses his job. But he did not give in to despair. Very shrewdly, he called his master's debtors and reduced and rewrote their debt so that they will be friendly with him when he is without a job. The master praised the servant for his shrewdness. At the face value, it looks as if Jesus is encouraging dishonesty. But the real message of the parable is little deeper. He praises the attitude with which the manager faced the crisis. He did not break down, but accepted his situation, his limitations. He faced the crisis boldly and wisely and with practical wisdom. He roped in others to assist him to face the crisis. The Christians often crumbled by the weight of the crisis. The parable teaches us that we too can rise from our crisis victoriously, even as Jesus did. A man burdened with problems and worries was walking through the forest. As he was walking, he saw a wounded fox lying under a tree. Suddenly, from the thick of the forest emerged a tiger. The man hid himself in fear. He was wonderstruck by what he saw then. The tiger was carrying a piece of meat in its mouth and placed it near the wounded fox and went away. The man revisited the scene the next day around the same time. The drama repeated. The tiger appeared with the meat and fed the hungry fox. The man whispered to himself, "This is a message for me to overcome my problems." So he laid himself down near a busy street, hoping that someone would help him. But a voice told him, "Fool, don't imitate the fox, but follow the example of the tiger." The man did not grasp the moral of the incident properly. Like the man in the story, we can take the wrong message from the parable of Jesus. Jesus is not teaching us dishonesty. Jesus teaches us to face the challenging situations of our life with courage and practical wisdom. "Behold, I am sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. So be wise as serpents and innocent as doves." Matthew 10:16. Jesus concluded this parable with the words, "You cannot serve two masters, for you will hate one and love the other. You cannot serve God and money." Money often becomes a crisis situation in our life. Money is not evil, but we can make it into an unrighteous wealth, as Jesus calls it. Money can become unrighteous if we become a slave to it. We must use the wisdom and prudence of the manager in the parable as we deal with the crisis of this world. As the Eastern saying goes, the river must be crossed without wetting the feet. It signifies that our dealing with wealth should be such that it does not enslave us. Often we get attached to the gifts and forget the giver of the gifts. Let us love and serve the Lord and use His gifts like wealth, etc., fruitfully and prudently in the service of others. May God bless us all.